Good evening. I'm Epstein with your Metal Market Wrap-Up, and this wrap-up is for the evening of Thursday, and we're now at the 10th of October, 2024. You know, it was an interesting day because the CPI numbers came in, and what we looked at in them, they didn't fall. They actually went up a tenth, and the market was not looking for that. We get PPI in the morning. They're looking for a tenth of a drop there, too. We'll see if they get that one. And we saw the unemployment claims really take off to the upside. Now, if you dug into it, into the states that you're seeing those numbers jump as much as they have been, you're seeing that the impact of Hurricane Helene, look at the South, those are the states that saw it, and Washington, the state of Washington, where Boeing is. So now we're getting those numbers in. We had Hurricane Milton. We don't know the full impact of it yet, but we're seeing that it's not as bad as it could have been. We were all prepared for monster storm surges. They got them. There were areas that got hit, but not as high as they could have been. So the damage numbers, the estimates are 25 to 70 billion in property, and of course then you have to add on to that lost work, other things like that, productivity in areas. We'll see what happens. But it also creates, on the other side of all that, opportunity to rebuild. And people go to work and they start doing that. So there's a cycle. You get the hit at first, then you get the turn. Now it's been two back to back. Are we going to get a third? Will become one of the questions. Another thing that will impact as you go into these markets, Israel, Iran. Tomorrow begins the two-day holiday of Yom Kippur. So the odds are Israel won't do anything until this holiday's over. It's the holiest of the holidays for the Jewish people. And I doubt that you'll see an awful lot going on that day. But when that ends, who knows where you go. You know, the U.S. paper, I read them, I read abroad, but the U.S. is pointing out the dissatisfaction some of the Lebanese people are having with Hezbollah. Okay, but that's from our Western point of view, and you always have to take this with a grain of salt, all right? Our papers are pro whatever they are. Papers in the Mideast are pro whatever they are. So always read and have an open mind with what you're reading. But the good news is the gold market's come away from the 2,600 level. It is at the 2,650 area. Let's go, by the way, before I go to the charts, and remind you, you get the PPIs tomorrow. As I said, they're looking for them down about a tenth, and we're looking for about a point increase in the University of Michigan. These are the prelim, by the way, October consumer sentiment number. So this number gets a lot of scrutiny because it's the prelim, so it's what we think things are going to look like, okay? All right, so let's go to the charts. When you look at the gold market, for the week, it is down just about a percentage point, $25 on a closing basis. You can see how the market has come down here, but now you just had the outside day up. If you've taken my course, you learn what outside days are, okay? And when you get an outside day up, the question is, can it be a continuation of the downtrend? No, it's generally a sign the market's trying to find, and the word is generally a sign the market is trying to find its footing down here. The pattern has been one of lower highs, lower lows, if you look at the swing line study. Number two, the market's fighting at the 18-day average or trying to get back to it. The Bollinger Bands are down here, and if you were to take out today's low and close lower on the day tomorrow or Monday, that could be a problem for the market and still send it to that number down there. Not taking that out gives the market an idea that you're looking for some short covering to set in. The market is oversold. We'll see if it can get its footing down here. It's just now crossing over the 30 level into 30.49, and anything over 30 is not oversold. Gold-silver ratio looks like it's pulling back here. You know, I'm sure yesterday I made this the gold color, and today it didn't hold it. Maybe I didn't save it right. But look for support around the 8,400 level. In the silver, from my point of view, this is the break that I had in my special report that I did. Markets come down through here. And if you look, it's a combination of the 100-day, the Bollinger Band, and very oversold. Again, I think this is where the pros covered their shorts the other day. I said it here. And now you're seeing the reward from that because the market has certainly rallied off the 30-34 level, and it's up a full $1. So it's not like it bounced 10 points. It went $1 an ounce higher, and that's quite a move. Look for the market to have resistance at 31.61, and that's where the battleground will begin. Now, for the silver, the copper, the platinum, one of the things the markets will look at is Saturday morning, China's announcement. The head of finance is coming out and supposedly going to straighten out the mess that the planning commissioner did and talk about stimulus, what China's going to do. If he doesn't sell the job, you watch. These markets, when they open, they'll tumble. So you got to keep your eye on this and see the selling job he does and what he's going to say that is different than was said before, or add new programs. It'll be a very important speech that he gives. And as usual, it's a Saturday morning. Markets aren't open in the U.S. Market comes down. It's fighting for its support right here. The bigger support lies at 426 to the 427.5 level. And that's the combination of the 200-day average and the Bollinger Band. You are oversold. Do I think short covering happened yesterday? Yeah, I do. And now the market today, proving that that's the case. But short covering isn't new buying, all right? There's a big difference between the two, so be aware of that. In the platinum, you fell down to the Bollinger Band, and you're finding your footing there. The trend is still down in all these markets. The 200-day average got under it for a day and a half, basically, if you think about it, and then right back up over it. But look for resistance at the 100-day average at 994 and the 18 at 993.20. You'd have to get back over into the current pattern this high in order to get anything currently going. And I think in the dollar, this is where the pros are taking money off the table. Right here, right now, you're at the 100-day average, the 200-day average, the upper Bollinger Band, and you're trying to embed. If it embeds and loses it, well, then I think you'll be going back down here. If it embeds until it loses it, on the breaks, the market will continue to be bought, and I think it'll still have the resistance at these points. We'll see if it can bust through that and where it can go. It needs a piece of information for that to happen. It could be Israel invading in some manner Iran. Now, I don't mean land troops, obviously, but missiles, bombs, sabotage, whatever you want to use that word for. That's something you got to keep your eye on with all that. Now, as you see me go through these charts, maybe you want to learn how to do them yourself. And I have a course on this. Swing lines, moving averages, slow stochastics, Bollinger Bands, and window envelopes. And it teaches you, number one, how to apply them on your chart. Number two, what are they all about and why do I use them the way that I do? It is a great, in my opinion, spot for everybody to get an idea of charting. What you do with it, how you take other things and apply it, well, that's up to you. There's 45 video chapters, so this is not, hey, it's a quick little course. It's quite in-depth. You get with it the charting software, access to my research for 30 days with all that comes with that, commentaries, everything else that you can go. The idea here is to teach you. And if we can teach you that, and if I can teach you that, then I've hit my goal. Just go to iraepstein.com, the word courses. It's all laid out there. It explains how it all works, and take the time out to learn. You can move your cursor to the top up here, too. There'll be an icon if you're on a PC, and you can see it there. Again, iraepstein.com, courses. I'll talk to you all tomorrow.